What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. It's Christine with gaugegirltraining, food scientist, chemical engineer, and author of the book Unlock Your Macrotype. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to test female sex hormones part 1. So let's get started. So I've been talking a lot on the channel about hormones, hormone imbalances, and specifically how it relates to fat gain, specifically in the lower abdomen, something I call the hormonal belly. And hormonal belly is something that occurs when your hormones are imbalanced, and as a result of that hormone imbalance, it causes your body to change its fat distribution pattern to store more fat, specifically in the lower abdomen. And what I'm going to talk about today is how to confirm via lab testing whether or not you have a hormone imbalance. There are 4 major types of tests that people use to do this. The first one is blood tests. The next one is through the urine. The next is through the saliva, and people also use imaging. Typically, you can request this type of testing by your doctor depending on the nature of your health and the nature of the test you want to do. Sometimes it's covered by insurance, but most of the time it is not. Because of that, it can be very frustrating for folks who want to get baseline information and have an understanding to proactively monitor their hormone levels to see if these imbalances are affecting them. So the most common signs of hormone imbalance include poor concentration, weight gain, fatigue, lightheadedness, dizziness, anxiety, irritability, changes in your appetite, reduced sex drive, difficulty sleeping, sensitivity to temperature changes, depression, painful or irregular periods, dry or oily skin, hair loss, hot flashes, change in heart rate, change in blood pressure, changes in appetite, reduced bone density, reduced muscle mass. There are a large amount of reasons that you could be imbalanced in your hormones, and it's very important to want to proactively monitor these things. And a hormonal imbalance occurs when the wrong amount of a hormone is produced by the endocrine system. So hormone imbalances can be caused by either too much or too little of a certain chemical entering the bloodstream. So some life transitions, such as pregnancy and menopause, they are associated with hormone imbalances. And this can happen to men, this can happen to women, this can happen to children, and it can happen at any age. So I ordered a test. I paid for this out of pocket, and I am testing the crucial female hormones. And the first thing I want you guys to know, this is a saliva test. When you are testing your hormones, if you are going to opt to do it the way I'm going to be doing it here, is that you need to wait until a certain day in your cycle, and I'm going to explain why. So the typical female cycle is 28 days. So this chart here showcasing the female menstrual cycle shows a total of 28 days, and the female menstrual cycle is broken up into 2 phases. The follicular phase, which is days 0 through 14. The follicular phase is when your eggs are still in the follicles and they have not yet been released into the uterus. And then the luteal phase, where your body's getting ready to prepare to push that stuff out through your period. So day 0 is it's like the beginning of your period. Right at day 14, that is when ovulation occurs. And as you can see, throughout the month, the female sex hormones, specifically estrogen and progesterone, fluctuate depending on what part of the cycle you are in. So at the beginning of the cycle, in days 0 through 14, your progesterone levels are very low, and they don't start to spike up until the tail end of the period in the luteal phase. Now, the estrogen levels, they start out high, they climb up. They start to dip when you ovulate, and then they continue to drop. Now, the thing that's important that everybody needs to know, if you remember one thing from this entire video, it's that you have to wait until days 17 to 20 in your window. That is the time of the month where the results from hormone testing are going to make the most logical sense, because that is the time of the month where the ratios between your estrogen and progesterone levels are going to provide meaningful insight regarding whether or not you have estrogen dominance. And estrogen dominance is a state when your estrogen levels are high relative to progesterone. So how do you know that? So there's a lot of ways. I proactively track my cycle in an app. I use the Flow app. I'm not sure if any of you guys are experienced with the Flow. It's called FLO. It is a free app that I use on my iPhone, and it tells me when I am expected to have my period, when I'm most fertile, and so on and so forth. And for me, my day, I'm currently on cycle day 13, so I need to wait at least 4 to 5 more days until I can take this test. I will demonstrate me taking the test, filling out everything, sending in the results, and I will actually show you guys and read the results live in a video to show you guys what my results are, what they mean, what levels are good, what levels are out of balance, and just all the nuance of what you should be looking for. So the thing that you guys want to remember, again, part 1 is preparing for the test, is you want to go between day 17 and 20. And if you don't know that, you need to get a grasp on your cycle. You need to start tracking your cycle. Now, I believe iPhone now has a way, I saw it in the health app, where they can track your cycle too, which was kind of creepy because I never put any information in there. I'm like, how do they have all my cycle information? Unless they're reading from a Flow app, that's like a whole nother story. So the main thing you guys want to know in part 1 of this is you have to wait until a certain time of the month. You have to wait until days 17 through 20 to do the test. Now that's for a blood test, urine test, saliva test, imaging, any of that. And if your doctor's not telling you that, you need to insist that it's done that time of the month, or just wait. Now, the next thing is, if you are menopausal and you're not getting your period, it's okay. You do not need to wait until that. So menopause is the only exclusion to this rule. So thank you guys for watching. Comment below. I will be following up in a couple days with when I'm actually in that window and I'll be able to test. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Comment all the questions below. Take care, guys.